Welcome to Unapologetically Rich. I'm your host, Shamina Taylor. And in today's episode, I'm actually going to give you a little treat, something that my heart and soul went into this. And for many of you who have not purchased my book yet, I'm going to give you an insight of the book. It's going to be the first 10 pages. You're absolutely going to love this. It's going to be one of the things, if you have not purchased the book yet, you will. We also have the audiobook coming out, and it'll be ready for you to also grab that plus the book and whatever else, because this is going to be the game changer for you. I wrote this book with something in my heart that I wanted to share with the world. It is how I changed my life and how I created the life of my dreams and how I got out of the cage of the emotional trauma that I'd been living in that I didn't even know I was living in. Subconsciously, I was in another state of being that I had no idea until I had that awakening moment on the yoga mat. And I know that many of us don't even know sometimes what we're subconsciously fighting against or what we're dealing with because it's in our subconscious and we're not aware of it. And awareness is, I always feel like it's like 90 something percent of the game. Once you know you've got an issue or you know something's there, we can do something about it. But for me, I didn't know it was there. All the signs were there, all the writing was on the wall until I had that breakdown moment, and then my life changed. I'm so forever grateful that it happened the way it did. Everything played out the way it did because I would not be here living this life that is absolutely beyond my wildest dreams. And I just feel like I'm just getting started. So buckle up, maybe sit down. I know you're probably running around, but tune into these next pages. It's the beginning of the book. It's called Dear Reader. I'll tell you that when I wrote this book, I'll read this. It'll probably get repeated in the audio, but the book was dedicated. They asked me to write a dedication, and the only people that I could think about that was my family, and myself. And so here goes. To my children, Easton and Sierra, to the women that I serve, and to the woman I once was. She is a warrior. She never gave up on me. Thank you for taking the journey and saying yes to the calling. Every time I say it, it makes me teary-eyed because I knew something was calling to me to go bigger, to go deeper, that I had a greater purpose here. And I just didn't know exactly what the calling was, but I heard it and I just followed and I trusted. And this journey has been the best I could have ever gone on. So enjoy these pages. And if I was you and I was in your shoes, I would go get that book. Run, not walk. Go get it on audio, get it in physical form. And like always, I would love a review from you because to me, it makes me feel good when I hear another woman has read it and it changed her life. I know she's a woman in abundance because she can leave reviews. And if you have not subscribed to this podcast, you should. And I would love a review from that too. And if you are listening to this and it's still time, we're doing an in-person event in Chicago on October 25th and 26th. It's called the Wealth Consciousness Event. And it's going to be a game-changing event. The stuff that's talked about in the book, we're taking it to the next level. And you're going to be able to quantum leap into that future version of yourself doing the work that we do. It's how I made $1 million in the beginning very fast and how I keep making money quickly. But I also designed a life of my dreams. No amount of money can really give me that payoff when I look at my children and see how emotionally mastered they are and that I broke generational trauma and that I was able to create this life for my children and I. And I do believe the solutions and the keys are in this book. And I would like to help you unlock and open that within and create the life of your dreams and get you to maybe even that next level that's there for you. All right, enjoy. And we all have that quantum woman in us. Let's unlock her and let's all rise together. Unlocking the Quantum Woman: 4 Keys to Creating the Life of Your Dreams. Written by Shamina Taylor, narrated by Shamina Taylor. Dedication. Dear reader, you are powerful beyond measure. Do you know that? You were not created by accident, and you are not here on this earth to merely exist. You are here to experience the full essence of life in all its glory and richness.
You are here to love and laugh and live every day in absolute abundance and joy. If you're thinking, yeah, right, then maybe you are like I was and don't know just how much happiness and fulfillment is available for you. That's okay. It's never too late to unlock your power. I will never forget the date, January 9th, 2013. The local news was filming at my friend's yoga studio. They wanted to feature her story about losing a ton of weight. And she asked me to be one of the people on camera behind her as she taught. No sweat, I thought. I strutted in, hair in a high bun, looking super cute in my expensive black Lululemon outfit. I was as fit as I'd ever been. My body was absolutely shredded thanks to my passion for bodybuilding and fitness competitions. This was going to be no problem, I thought. Even though this was the third time I'd ever done yoga, anyone could do simple stretches. The second that camera began rolling, my friend transformed into a sadistic yoga freak. Left hand up, right hand down, right leg back, right arm up, left hand down, left hand back, further, further, further. She demanded, "Twister, anyone?" I felt like a rubber band as she continued barking at us to twist into pretzels. Tension built up inside my body as my comfort meter snapped. Yoga teachers will sometimes tell you to push your edge, but not go over your edge. Well, my edge was long gone as I tried to settle into a hip opening frog position. The pain shooting from my hips was unbearable, but I was too damn competitive to break the pose. As if that weren't enough, she began prodding us with questions. Are you happy with your life? Are you living your life to the fullest? Are you making the most of your one precious opportunity to be on this earth? What the hell was she talking about? I thought this was yoga, not a therapy session. The pain had moved from being only in my hip, pulsating through my entire body. And right there on that mat, smack in the middle of my friend's Oprah moment, I started to question my life. Am I happy? Am I living my life to the fullest? Am I living my best life? Who is Shamina really? Who am I? The answer to my friend's question was a resounding no. I was living my life like Groundhog Day gone bad. I felt like I had lost who I was. On the outside, my life seemed perfect. I had just finished a bodybuilding competition and I was in the best shape of my life. I was married with two beautiful children, ages 4 and 5. I had more friends than I could count. I was a successful attorney, closing deals, and only taking work that I chose to do. I had my dream house in Chicago suburbs. For my 40th birthday, my now ex-husband had taken me on a lavish surprise trip to Miami, no expenses spared. To everyone around me, things looked idyllic. My kids and I would take bike rides, go out for ice cream, and post all the obligatory smiling photos of my picture perfect life on Facebook. But inside, I was numb to it all, barely even present. At preschool, my son drew a picture of me laying horizontal on the couch, a depiction of one of the many times I was so exhausted and depressed, but still pushing through it. I just wanted to sleep all the time. But I fought it, determined to keep busy. Because that's what we do, right? When things get tough, we just get tougher. But sooner or later, something has to give. I didn't tell any of my friends how unhappy I was because I really didn't know myself. I was just surviving. I couldn't let others know that I was just getting through life, living a lie. I couldn't break the facade because what would that say about me? All of my success and achievement. That day on the yoga mat, crouching in the most god awful, uncomfortable pose known to mankind, I realized I didn't know who I was. Images of my Insta-perfect life flashed across the screen of my brain, and I hated what I saw. My life was not all what I wanted it to be. I could feel the dam about to break. The icy hot tears were brimming up to the surface and threatening to come pouring out. When I couldn't hold them back any longer, I started ugly crying. I mean, really ugly. Like when your once perfectly done mascara is now branching out into an entire river system across your face. This cannot be all there is, I thought. In that moment, I forgot where I was, and I most definitely forgot I was being filmed. My emotions took control of my body, and I experienced a complete nuclear meltdown on my yoga mat. I'd always wanted to be on TV, and here I was, my shining moment, and I couldn't stop crying. You know what I did? Nothing. I just lay there and let myself feel it all. For the first time in my adult life, I allowed myself to experience what it was like to truly feel. A massive release of emotions and pain was evacuating my body through a waterfall of tears. When I finally lifted my head off the spongy mat and came to my senses, I looked around and realized the class was over. I wiped the snot from my nose and noticed my legs and hips had gone numb. But none of that mattered because now I could not unsee what had been shown to me. I had been half asleep my entire life. I had everything a woman is supposed to want, and yet I'd felt as though I had nothing. I was hollow, empty. I left the yoga studio that day knowing that something had to change. I no longer wanted to live life the way I'd been, but I had no clue what I was supposed to do. It was all a mystery. The future was dark and confusing. All I could do was put one foot in front of the other and pray that I would figure it out. So, what about you? Are you happy? Are you living your best life? Are you making the most of your time here on earth? You might be like I was when I waltzed into that yoga studio. Outwardly, you might be extremely successful. Maybe you have the house, the cars, the handbags, the clothes, the perfectly landscaped yard. Maybe your marriage is perfect, too. Your kids are dressed impeccably from head to toe, their smiling faces gracing your Instagram feed. You can work anyone in your office under the table. Your Peloton has more miles on it than all the instructors combined, and you pride yourself on having your shit together. Or maybe you haven't checked all the achievement boxes yet, and you're still on the hardworking hamster wheel, grinding your way through life. But when you're alone with your thoughts and asking yourself those questions, you secretly know the answer is no. You know something's missing, and you don't need to be in the world's most uncomfortable yoga pose to figure it out. You might even beat yourself up when you start to think about what's wrong because you know you have the perfect life. You should be happy. Other women would kill to have what you have. You've worked your ass off to achieve everything you were told would make you happy, and yet you feel nothing. It's not like I didn't look for that one magic bullet that would finally make me happy. I tried exercise, diet, overwork, even green juice. I tried to better wife and mom my way to happiness. I thought what I was seeking was on the other side of more hard work. The constant need to do more never ended. It felt like I had to struggle for everything I wanted, to constantly prove myself to everyone. I focused on the outside without any knowledge that it was the inside that needed to be fixed. I was exhausted and I wanted out. If that sounds familiar, know that you are not alone and there's nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. This is how we were taught to succeed. It's the only way we've ever known to live our lives. Be a good girl, get good grades, go to the right college, marry the right man, raise 2.8 children, have the perfect body, and don't forget to build a top notch career in the meantime. And then you get to be happy. You are completely within your rights to say, "What the hell? I did all that stuff and I'm still miserable? Where's my promised reward? Where's my trophy? I'm at the top of the mountain and all I see is more mountains I have to climb. When is it my turn? When will I finally get to be happy?" I hear you, sister. Please stick with me here. What if I told you that you can have exactly what you want? Not just what you're supposed to want, but what you really want, truly want, and desire. What if all the achievements you were told to chase were false? What if you don't actually have to follow the rules to be successful? What if, in fact, you don't have to do anything at all? What if there was a secret universe where the rules are completely different? A universe where literally anything is possible and everything is available to you at all time. A universe where you are all powerful and get to simply desire something and it shows up like magic. Would that be cool? Well, here's a spoiler for you. Such a place does exist. It's called the quantum field, and it's all around you all the time. It has always been there. You've always had the power to access it. You just didn't know how. I didn't either. Most of humanity doesn't know how to access it. So our true power stays locked away. We stay stuck in our day to day existence until we transition to the next world. Over the years that followed the dreaded yoga mat incident, I discovered that all of my desires for actually living a fulfilled, happy, abundant life beyond my wildest dreams had nothing to do with any of that shit I thought I had to do. You can be happy. You can love yourself and love your life. You can have whatever you want and then some. Even better, you don't have to struggle to get it. In this book, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you the 4 keys to unlock the incredible power inside of yourself. Power you can access at any time, anywhere to get anything you want. It took me more than 9 years of searching and learning and trying things to figure out what I'm going to teach you in this book. Don't worry, it won't take you that long because I'm just going to hand you the keys. You can start using the techniques right away to change your life. There will be some work to do. You have a lifetime of conditioning to unlearn and patterns to break. But stick with me. Before you know it, you can shift from constant struggle to a blissful life of your own creation and choosing. It can overflow with everything you desire. And yes, I mean everything. We live in a limitless world. Because of what you will learn in this book, I now have my dream life. Not the life I thought I should have, not someone else's version of happiness, my dream life. Today, I'm a single mama and business owner. My business is thriving. I went from a negative bank balance after my divorce to 1 million in cash in 11 months in my mentoring business, crossing milestones that most entrepreneurs only dream of. More importantly, I've helped thousands of women unlock their power, become the best versions of themselves, and get everything they've ever wanted. I wake up every morning feeling completely fulfilled in my purpose. I went from feeling confused, lost, and unclear to living a life that is rich, abundant, and peaceful. The life I have is one that money could not buy. Trust me, I tried. There was no place to shop for what I have now. How? What's the secret? Welcome to the ride of your life. I've distilled all the philosophies and practices down to just what you need to know to claim this life for yourself. I'm going to hand you the keys that unlock parts of you that you have shut down, closed off, or maybe haven't accessed yet. These are the keys to your power, and they open a life of possibility that you may never have allowed yourself to dream of. The keys to unlocking the quantum woman you really are. All right, bye for now.